Hi, this is Mike Eccles with Max Cybersecurity again. And today we're going to talk about pen testing and how important it is to understanding the vulnerabilities in your network. With each passing year, with new technology integration and with the expansion of the digital world that we live in, it becomes more and more important to keep hackers out of your networks and your systems and your applications. NIST, the National Institute of Standards and Technology, has produced a cybersecurity framework, and that framework is a base for helping organizations to understand their risk and to perform risk management tasks. Now, one of the most important risk management tasks that can be done is the pen test. So by mimicking a real-world situation, a pen test is one of the best ways that you can employ testing and take stock of your organization's cybersecurity posture. By doing it regularly, you can bolster your efforts to prevent hackers from accessing mission control and mission central systems and the data contained within. So what the pen test does is it empowers an organization to identify security gaps and exposure and prioritize security risk. It also helps them to discover misconfigurations and backdoor exploits, understand all potential threat vectors. Those are the different ways that a hacker can get into the system. And it also helps them on the back end respond to a breach in a quick and efficient manner. So let's be more specific here. What is penetration testing? Well, a pen test is often referred to as ethical hacking. If your organization wants to assess the cybersecurity vulnerabilities, few methods are more effective. You can look at the strengths and weaknesses of your system that can be exploited, but then you can also identify potential methods or system bypasses that someone might use in your particular system architecture. Now, there are several benefits to pen testing. Here are a few. So the first, you can gauge how rigorous your defenses are and how well your system tolerates a real-world attack. Then you can discover the necessary levels of sophistication that a hacker would have to use to actually get into your system and manipulate your data or exfiltrate your data, meaning to take your data. And you can determine further countermeasures that could limit threats to your system. That's important also. And then lastly, the more intensive the penetration tests, the more useful and actionable the information is to help you understand how you resolve those issues. So, pen testing scenarios should focus on locating and implementation of the application, the system, and the network. Tests should reproduce both the most likely and the most damaging attack patterns. And this includes worst case scenarios, such as malicious actions by an administrator. You see, that administrator is going to have that super user access. And so if you can determine the worst possible damage that can be done by an administrator, you typically can make your system even more resilient. The pen testing process is relatively straightforward. The business and the tester, they agree to the parameters of the test, and they agree to what can and cannot be done during the test. And then the tester goes to work. So there's two types of pen testing that are used. The first is the external pen test, where the tests are done from outside of the network. This would be like a black hat hacker or a bad hacker working to get inside of your system. This helps you to not only measure how strong your network is, but how easy it was for that hacker to get the information necessary to get into your system. And then secondly, the internal pen test. Internal pen testing gives the attacker a head start of sorts, because the internal pen testing starts inside of the network. That's right. They're provided information beforehand, and that information assists the pen tester to move in and out and laterally around the network and get to that area that the organization really needs to test. So that's your overview of pen testing. This is Mike Eccles from Max Cybersecurity, and I'll talk to you soon. And look for future courses where we're going to tie all this together so you can understand how this great system of testing leads to a wonderful outcome of resilience. Talk to you soon.